Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Okay, so I know what you guys are probably thinking from reading at the title. You're probably wondering, well, how can the coronavirus be a good thing, right? And the direct and immediate answer is that it is not a good thing at all. And no, really, it has been a very, very hard time for a lot of people, for basically the entire world. People have been losing their lives. We have been suffering through a shortage of supplies. I can certainly speak as someone who's from New York City right now. This has been impacting workers, students, especially seniors, people that have had to miss classes or have been missing senior events, all sorts of different small businesses, tourism, travel, plans, everything has been canceled and so many different people's lives has been impacted. So obviously it hasn't been a very easy time, including for me. I personally, for example, lost my job during this time period. But with that being said, I think sometimes even when we're going through very, very difficult moments, I still sometimes like to try, again, keyword is to try, to at least think a little bit more about the positive or silver linings, the more positive side, even during a lot of the harder situations that we normally go through, because I always believe with life, there's kind of like the two ends, you know what I mean? And after making several other videos talking more about how coronavirus has destroyed and impacted the world in so many different ways, definitely check out those videos too, because I talk a lot about my experience, like being in New York City and in Asia, and ways that it's really been impacting the world just because of what's been going on. But with that being said, I'd like to maybe do a little bit of a shift and make a little bit more of a uplifting and positive video, where today we're going to be talking about 5 more positive things that have hopefully been able to come as a result of the coronavirus. Now, I know obviously because this is a little bit of a controversial video, there's going to be a lot of debate based off of this, but I promise you watch all the way to the end, because I promise you some of these points, at least one of them, is going to apply to almost every single person out there today. And I'm going to try to make this fast and casual so you can just run through these points as fast as you possibly can, so stay tuned. If you're new here, welcome so much to my channel. I'm so happy to have you guys here. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm also so happy to always see you guys and familiar faces again. I normally make videos on self-improvement, lifestyle in general. So if any of these things interest you, definitely subscribe, hit the bell notification. Oh, and smash the like button while you're at it. And hopefully we'll get this video rolling, because I don't want to, just keep going on and on. I just want to get to this video right now. Yeah. Okay, so I think the first positive thing that maybe has actually been able to come out of the coronavirus is really just free time. And I think specifically relaxation time, for at least certainly for most people. And I think sometimes, during the school year, we're always super busy with like classes, exams, all sorts of different things. And I think one of the silver linings is that from what I've personally seen is I feel like this has been actually low-key in some ways, even though it's hard to be trapped in quarantine inside. Check out my previous video on that. I think one thing that has been nice is I feel like a lot of people have gotten a lot more free time now to be able to enjoy and somewhat relax. Yes, you can't go outside, but if you're, someone, especially if you're a little bit more on the introverted side, I think what's nice about it is that people have found themselves having significantly more time now to dedicate to family, to rest up a little bit. Sometimes you might even find yourself a little bit bored because of how much free time that's going on. Hence, that's actually what I talked about in my previous video. But so the point is, I think, is that there's definitely been a lot of people, I think, that have noticed a much more greater increase in terms of free time, family time, and being able to just relax for a lot of different people. Okay, I think that the second positive thing that has actually also really come as a result of the coronavirus has really just how much it's been able to show the world how possible it is to be able to just operate things online. Basically, the idea is that this can potentially popularize the idea of working and going to school online. Obviously, going to work and going to school online has already been around for many years, but I think there's still a lot of people that are a little bit more skeptical and haven't fully transitioned and believe that, it's so important to be there in person, and it is. But I hope to think that maybe through the coronavirus experience, as we're seeing so many people move to online learning and so many people now move to online working as well, that maybe we can now popularize the idea that it's very possible for a lot of people to be able to just do their work from home, and it may not fully really be necessary to be able to go out there. I think sometimes, hopefully, this kind of shows people the possibility of being able to kind of do things without even leaving their house. Now, the third positive thing that I think has really come as a result of the coronavirus has actually really been environmental impact. I think that a lot of times, even though it's very hard, and I actually had this video recommended to me actually in the YouTube suggested page, funny enough, and it was basically talking about how one of the things that I feel like the coronavirus has actually really benefited the world is that it's actually led to a significantly huge reduction in air pollution, and it's actually helped the environment in a lot of different ways. I remember watching this video that supposedly ever since the coronavirus started to enter in, even though it sucks that because tourism is down and people aren't able to enjoy these nature as much anymore, I remember reading that apparently animals and dolphins have started to come into the canals of Venice. Supposedly in China, which is the place where it's all started, and it's notoriously known for massive air pollution. Supposedly, even their air has naturally been cleaned up now a little bit too. You know, when people go back to work and start to go back to normal again, we don't know how it's going to impact the environment. But in a lot of ways, I feel like this has actually been a little bit of a reset button to Mother Nature, which I think is really cool. Okay guys, and I think the fourth positive thing that has really been able to come out as a result of the coronavirus, and I know this is a little bit more controversial, but it's the fact that it crashed the stock market. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, how can this be a good thing, right? And obviously, I also know that probably not every single person is into economics, but I do promise I'm just gonna run through this very as fast as I possibly can because I know that reason, and also because I already made another video talking about the economic impacts, so definitely check that video out. But basically, you might be wondering why that might be a good thing. But basically, if you know about historically, right, the stock market is basically known to generally increase as time goes on and on, which makes sense because most of the time people get richer as time kind of goes on. The problem is that especially if you're someone who's young or a new investor of some kind, you might have missed out on a lot of opportunities in the past to possibly buy so many different stocks for cheap, right? So what's great about that is that this is basically the reset button now for young investors and anybody who's looking to make some kind of amount of money and hopefully has some cash on the side to kind of gamble and play with a little bit or to learn about investing, which I think is such an important skill. This is the potential time to make amends if you've had feelings of missing out or FOMO'd over anything, or you just were like, I wish I got in early. This is the reset button where all of those gains that other people have made have now crashed down, and it's now your time to go back in time, hit that reset button, and try to enter into the stock market. So hopefully when it bounces back, now you guys can make money from it. But of course, I don't want to make this super long because I know not everyone's into economics. But I think it's a glorious time. I might make a future video about, the economic impacts or anything like that. So let me know if that's a video of interest. But check that video out in the description if you want to know more. And let's just move on to the next point. Okay, and I think the fifth and final positive thing that has really come as a result of the coronavirus, I think, has really just been on the personal level for so many people, I think, is just the amount of lessons learned. Now, this one's much more psychological because I know, obviously, for some people, it has been a very painful thing to have to be able to go through a lot of this stuff. But for a lot of people, if you're hopefully able to at least stay safe and healthy and well during this time period, I feel like if you really dig deep, I feel like as a whole, there's so many different low-key life lessons that we're really able to gain learning for our own selves because of the coronavirus. Everything from the importance of health, the possibility of online learning, hopefully making it more popularized, being able, the importance of spending time with family, how short life is, how fast it moves, and even just if you've already taken the time during your free time that you have, as I mentioned before, to work on yourself. The other huge lesson is just basically everything that you guys have been working on. Really just all the sorts of different things. And I mentioned that in my previous video about things that people should be doing if they're quarantined. I kind of was experimenting with a new video style, so I know it's going to be a little bit different than what you're looking at right now, but I feel like through the coronavirus, there's so many different life lessons that have really been able to get picked up, like the significance of time, as I mentioned, how urgent, fragile, human life can be, how fast it can move, and how important it is to really be grateful and really appreciate if you're going through a very, very good time, if we hopefully recover through that. And if you're not going through a good time, maybe to just do what we can to have hope, to hopefully survive and recover and get through these moments, and look at the more positive aspects, to hopefully distract us from the less positive aspects that are going on around the world right now. As mentioned through this video, I might make a future video about things that I've learned as a result of the coronavirus. So again, another reason to subscribe and hit the bell notification button. I know I'm going on and on if you guys are interested in seeing that video, but hopefully this wraps up the video. I didn't want to make this video too long, but these are 5 more positive things that I feel has actually really come out as a result of the coronavirus today. Okay guys, so if you guys are still here, thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm so happy to have you guys through, and hopefully this gave you guys some more enlightened ideas and some insight into the more positive and uplifting facts or things that have actually come as a result of the coronavirus. To find that sunlight in this world of gray that we're living in currently right now, maybe comment down below and let me know maybe one positive thing that you guys have found as a result of the coronavirus, or maybe one lesson that you guys have learned and hope to take away as a result of the coronavirus, or really just maybe one thing that you hope to work on from now until we all go back to our regular routine of going to school, work, whenever that might be, obviously, because I believe Trump apparently already closed it down, at least if you're in America, until the end of the month. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button if you have not done so already, and subscribe and hit that bell notification button, because I might make other future videos that hopefully will give you guys some kind of insight as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know I've probably said this so many times, enough, but stay safe, stay healthy wherever you guys are at, and hope to see you guys next week. Until next time, thank you guys so much.